Audio on, video on, action. 3 times the charm. Anyway, I have a little technical difficulties there, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining me today. Another reaction to Hayden Panettiere's ex-boyfriend now, Brian Hickinson, was at the scene when she died, police report. So, I'm going to listen to this and watch this. Oh man, this is horrifying, but apparently her boyfriend was there as well too. So that's I'm trying to dig deep into what's really going on with Hayden Panettiere's OD death, but very conspiratorial and can be very, very damaging too when it comes to exposing what really is behind all this tragedy. But anyway, let's check it out.
This morning, a newly obtained police report reveals new details about the shocking death of star actress Hayden Panettiere and who investigators say was with her when she died. According to police, Panettiere's on and off again boyfriend Brian Hickinson and his brother Zach were also there at this South Carolina apartment complex when Panettiere suffered a cardiac arrest, and they say the brothers called 911.
Cardiac arrest, CPR is in progress.
Police say EMS attempted to perform life-saving methods for an extended amount of time before they called the time of death. They say the boyfriend's brother Zach was very emotional while EMS were working on Hayden. Brian did not become emotional until EMS declared her officially deceased. And afterward, they say Brian showed officers the bag of medication Hayden is currently on. Police say they found no indications of foul play or suspicious circumstances, and the preliminary autopsy found no signs of trauma, with her cause of death still pending. Now Panettiere's mother is speaking out in a new interview, saying this person in her life that we've been trying to get rid of for quite some time was with her at her death. And that was Brian Hickinson. The couple did have a tumultuous history that included domestic violence.
The abuse, the fact that I allowed this person not only into my life, but for how long I put up with it.
She chronicled that alleged abuse in her memoir released months ago, including Hickinson being charged with multiple counts of felony abuse.
Brian pleaded no contest, but I knew that with what I was telling the police, he was sure to be found guilty. It ate at me, but I had to do what was right in the eyes of the law.
Oh my gosh.
That to my heart, though.
Wow.
Despite all he'd done to me, I still loved Brian for who I believed he was.
Hickinson served 45 days in jail and recently told TMZ he had regrets, but said they were still friends.
I went into such a dark place, man. Drugs, alcohol. Dude. Good God Almighty.
Police have reiterated they found nothing suspicious at the scene of Hayden's death. Her mother calls her daughter an amazingly talented person, but adds, I think young people who grow up in the entertainment industry, it is a struggle. And Panettiere talked openly in her memoir about the lifelong scars that came with becoming famous so young and her struggles with addiction and postpartum depression. We did reach out to Brian Hickinson through his attorney. We have not heard back. Robin.
All right, thanks to you, Trevor.
Okay, so I'm going to give you my 2 cents on that. So you have to really read between the lines and read between the tea leaves. It's what really went behind with Hayden's death. And hold on, let me pause this for a second.
For those who return.
Holy cow. Yeah, so her death, you figure the guy was a crackhead pretty much. Like when any crackhead, when you have, not only she was dating a famous star, she also had a lot of money and power as well too. So when you're a crackhead and all you need is a fix, well, who do you turn to? A person who's got money, right? And she is also addicted, I'm pretty sure, by him. So 2 addicted personalities, one with money and power and looks, and her boyfriend, just an all-out loser. Didn't really care too much about her life. You know what I mean? So when you're going, they probably had a crack binge. A place was probably a place where they could just get high. And she OD'd. So I know a lot of people who were in that situation who passed away, who OD'd. So I kind of understand the scenario and I can understand why the addiction took over her and him, but both together. When you have two addicted people who have addictive personalities with money and power, is always 100% ends up in disaster. Period. I know that from experience. I know that from the past. I know that from all the people that passed away in my life. So that leads me to believe what happened. Reading between the lines and reading just this 5-minute clip of E! News makes me to believe that she was also exposing, her ex or her boyfriend, off and on again, boyfriend, was exposing in her memoir, and exposing also the elites in Hollywood too. So you have to put that in the equation too. So you put that. So her memoir pretty much exposed everything. As the conspiratorial side of me saying, okay, that elites, Hollywood, no, you can't expose what we have given you. We created a star, but then exposing her addiction to her memoir is a no. So that, ladies and gentlemen, allegedly, in my personal experience and what I think, this is my interpretation, how I feel is what happened. So that, ladies and gentlemen, leads me to believe that from what I think what happened, and when you have two addicted people trying to get a fix with her background, and she's doing a cocktail of whatever, most likely ends up in death. So like I said, I'm know this from experience, and I know that from the past of my people, handful of people that I know that passed away OD'd as well too. So God rest their soul, but it happens, and that's why it's such a tragic death. That's why it just kind of hits home, and it kind of hits to the heart. Not only that, because I know how they feel. I know how they feel of losing a friend, a solid friend. And I have friends till today that are still hooked and can't get out of it. I could only do and help them as much as I could to get them away from that as well. But that's, the rest is up to them, so let's read some of the comments here. It says toxic love is like quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. Absolutely. From Homeward Bound, everyone around her since day one failed her. Rest in peace, Hayden. Yep, absolutely. It says Brian is definitely the mastermind behind Hayden's untimely passing. The violent rap sheet and abusive behavior never lies, and he can't divert suspicions away, hands down. Yep. It's strange how her life was so parallel to the character she played in Nashville. I don't know, I never watched Nashville, but apparently she was hooked on that as well too. So life imitates art, art imitates life, vice versa, whatever you want to use. Apparently it is. So very typical in people in childhood trauma. They're always drawn to people who are toxic and are bad for them, even though they know it's not going to end well. Absolutely. So, oh Lord, it's just horrible just to hear about her death. Okay, so man, it's just it just hits home for some reason. So I'm just gonna keep digging and. Okay, I'm gonna listen to. It's just Do kids belong to showbiz? Hated international news? Yeah. I don't know. That's. Yeah, it's just so hard to. Okay, Hayden's Panettiere engaged estranged mom breaks silence. So let's listen to that and hear what he has to say and what she has to say, because she has to take accountability of her actions as well too. It is her loved one as well too. So let's check it out.
It's okay to feel the emotions that you're feeling. It can be a very sad and very traumatizing experience. Who doesn't want a relationship with their mother?
Hayden Panettiere's estranged mom, Leslie Vogel, breaking her silence 2 days after the death of her daughter.
Jeez.
To slam the star's on-again, off-again boyfriend of 8 years, Brian Hickerson, saying, "We hoped she would distance herself from him."
I was in such a lonely, desperate place that...
So what do you think, though, ladies and gentlemen, about... I know a lot of people that I know personally who have toxic relationships. Like I said, I was into the adult industry and the stripping industry. I've DJed a lot of clubs and traveled to a lot of places. And I've seen everywhere, too. I myself had a toxic relationship as well, too, but it never ended up in disaster like this. But I know a handful of friends of mine and girlfriends of mine who also were in toxic relationships, and they just can't seem to get out of it for some reason, and they keep going back. What's up with that? You know what I mean? Just get the fuck out. But I guess love is blind, and when love is blind, it kind of it's like magnetic. It's hard. When a magnet sticks together, it sticks, but when they're parallel against each other, you attract. So opposites attract. So it's kind of like in and out, in and out. It's brutal, but that's usually how it works. That's my analogy anyway. But let's go on.
I was more afraid of being alone than I was with being with somebody who was physically hurting me.
Brian and Hayden, who apparently reconciled in March, flew to his home state of South Carolina together on August 15th. By the next day, the 36-year-old was dead. A police report obtained by ET showing Brian and his brother Zach were in the apartment as first responders tried and failed to save her life.
Cardiac arrest. Overdose. CPR is in progress.
Hayden's cause of death is under investigation, and toxicology results could take months. But Hayden's mom seemingly placing some of the blame on Brian. In a statement to ET, she says, quote, "The fact that Brian was with Hayden at the time of her death is unsurprising, but devastating."
You're there. Not just his son.
Leslie
It's
also
like 90%.
enabled Hayden and her family had been trying to get rid of him for quite some time. In a phone interview with NBC News, ET reached out to Brian's father, who's not commenting on Leslie's allegations.
You try to pry them out of your life, and they always find a way to sneak back in.
Hayden, writing about her turbulent time with Brian in her 2026 memoir, This Is Me, A Reckoning.
Then one day, when we were on our second bottle of wine, everything changed. You never forget the first time someone slaps you. And just a drop of alcohol, and I didn't have to do anything wrong. It was just a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situation.
Brian pleaded no contest to 2 felony domestic violence charges in 2021 and served 45 days in jail. In another incident, he allegedly punched Hayden in the face. All of this unfolding as Hayden surrendered custody of her daughter Kaya and struggled with drug and alcohol abuse.
That's brutal right there.
The first thing I thought of when I woke up was alcohol. Not my child, not my job. Addicts aren't patient people. We want and need instant relief.
You talk about, at such a young age, financially and emotionally supporting the family, and
it just built and built and built up, and so much resentment and anger.
Where's your mother?
She's right there.
Excuse me?
Mom, we're doing an interview. Yeah, thanks. My mother.
E.T. was with Hayden and her momager during her years as a child star.
What defines a good mom to you?
Oh gosh. I think my mom just describes a good mom. I think someone who understands, who knows that what you're going through.
I know what the moms have to go through, and I know how much they have on their plates.
They split professionally when she was 19, and they stopped talking completely about a year before her death.
She has very clearly prioritized herself which I should not be shocked by. When people ask me about the relationship, if there's any hope for future, I always say that I always leave that door cracked open. You pray for it and you hope it eventually comes, but she slammed that door pretty hard in my face.
Now Leslie's remembering her daughter as an incredibly talented person in so many areas of her life. She says it's heartbreaking to see the struggles that can come with growing up in the entertainment industry. That kind of pressure can be incredibly difficult to navigate, and sadly, it is not uncommon for people in similar circumstances to go down the wrong path.
It never seems to get easier, but I'm healing.
Alright, so that's pretty much it with that segment of Entertainment Tonight. So that was a pretty good piece about her estranged mother. So her mother played an important role, actually the important role, by putting her daughter into the entertainment industry at such a young age and actually using her as a bank. Oh my God, that's hard to do because, you know, when you're in a situation when you do have a talented daughter, she probably sees it in her daughter, so why not put her in the entertainment industry? But the temptations of the entertainment industry is very alluring to any young person, especially at that age, going to hit stardom and climbing her way up as she did. Then having all these relationships with these guys, not to her benefit, but to their benefit. I think she was just seeking love, but in the wrong places. But through addiction of the bottle was a recipe for disaster, and her disaster was her life. So just a sad day, a sad occurrence, and a sad. Now I understand, because like I said, I know a handful of people who passed away, who OD'd, and there was a lot of them, and a lot more other people that I knew from other people. When you're in the party scene, you're seeing it all, you've been it, you live it, and thank God I'm still alive right now as well too. But hey, things happen for a reason, right? I'm here to talk to you about it as well too. So this really hits the heart, and hopefully they will find out who really did this heinous act. Not just her ODing, but you have two people in the area, you know, and her. Apparently they were, you know, partying, you know, and there's two at fault, and one was her ex and one was her brother. And then her mother came into the picture because they haven't talked in over a year because they split apart. So you have to kind of put the pieces together and put the puzzle and try to really dig deep in who did it. And you kind of see that her boyfriend, off and on again, is the main source. So you have to really think. So that's why I think he is a major role. He has to take accountability, as well as her mother, but her mother wasn't there. So I don't know. Hopefully they will fix this, and I'll keep you posted more about what's going on. More reactions to Hayden Panettiere's death, and more to come from this tragic incident. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll have more videos, commentary come very shortly at this channel. Bye for now. God bless. Godspeed, and we will see you in the next podcast vlog. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, forward to everyone you know. Bye for now. See you in the next one.